Well, so hopefully it works this time, guys. It's had to restart my old computer. Hopefully it's the audio's coming in now. Yeah, like I said, my computer is getting really long in its teeth. It's 5 years old. It's like 80 years old for a human. Right, so just gonna open this level. Hey RJ, yeah, it's hopefully the audio's coming in. It's been I had to restart it. OBS just completely messed up my uh, some kind of connection with the webcam. Who knows what? Oh, that's good. Thanks for telling me. Right. So where was I? Yeah, and like I said, I mean, if you want to see some mechanics, I'm not sure if you've this is the first time you're joining, or but if you want to see some mechanics, let me know, and I can share some of that with you. Yeah, I mean this is just like kind of some of the exterior level right now, and so this is kind of the surrounding. You're not going to be able to get there level, and so it'd be visible kind of from your flight as you enter the world, and and I can show you some of that if you like. Let me see if I can open the persistent level. Hopefully this is not going to crash, because sometimes, and it only happens apparently when I'm streaming, it it has a little bit of a hissy fit. So hopefully that won't be the case. But at least that way I can show you how the game starts, and let me see if I am in the right mode here. And is this true? Okay, perfect. Yeah, I think I'm in. And that way you can see some of the menu as well, and I'm not sure why I'm getting to that. Oh, demo level. Okay, so Yeah. I mean, I already have like a main menu, and I can't go to full screen when I'm in this menu. And I'll show you how like the settings menu work. There's like saving. Yeah, it is. Okay, so this is kind of how things work. Oops, that's a little too loud. And the sequence is pretty bad at the moment. With the it's not like everything is not in place. So this is kind of the moment where you crash and you crash land. But yeah, this is a project I've been working on by myself. Yeah, so as you can see, this is the exterior level that you're not going to be able to reach for whatever reason. There's some smoke over there. Not entirely sure why. But yeah, so um, kind of the world, the exterior is going to be comprised of kind of a set of levels like this that are going to be joined together by those transition levels that you've seen. No, the plane interior, the plane itself was kind of a hodgepodge of things. Like I bought a plane off of CG Trader, then I went in and I kind of refined it so it actually looks a little bit better. Like there's, kind of the dials are more dynamic in a way, and but no, I mean, as far as when it comes to like um, vegetation and some assets, I usually buy those. There's a lot of assets that I make myself, especially when it comes to like architectural stuff. But most the natural assets are kind of a combination of there's like some mega scans that I completely redo the materials on, and also some marketplace stuff. The original level came from a developer that made all these kind of broadleaf trees, but I took that and I tweaked it or heavily tweaked it. So it's there's like kind of the big rocks scattered across the world. There's the river kind of looks a little bit different than what he had. Though I liked his setup as well. The terrain texture is completely different. The trees I've changed. I've kept a few of them. Um, oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Well, so I mean, the right now I'm using real-time reflections, so it really kind of matters on um, what's above it, so to speak. And this is also kind of an old material that I have in this level here for this one. Actually, no, I think it's the same. But the water really depends on the kind of the depth of it. So right here is pretty deep, so that's why it's so murky. And that's a setting that I'm probably going to be working with to get it so that it's more transparent than it is at the moment. But that is, with the reflections is also kind of a juggling act with performance and how much I want to get into it that way. Um, so that's kind of how the entrance works. So the other reason that I wanted to go with the plane crash is that I can set that so the player can crash in different locations of this map, and depending on that, it could be different interactions and such. Oh, so I mean, this project I've started when I was using CryEngine, so I think I've started this whole thing in like 2013 or something like that. And, there's been learning curve with CryEngine, then the learning curve with Unreal, asset creations and all that. But effectively, everything that I've been doing so far with Unreal, it's been about, so I've started Unreal about a couple of years ago, maybe 2 years and 3, 4 months. and let's call it 2.5. So there was quite a bit of learning curve with Unreal as well, but things went a lot quicker. And so I was telling you something about the menu. This is kind of how the menu looks. And let's see, video, stuff like this, where you can like change um, the settings this way. So I wanted to create this little accordion menu because I really liked the idea of it. Yeah, CryEngine was the first engine that I've ever used, and in hindsight, that wasn't such a good idea because it's the most difficult engine out there to use and the least documented, or one of the least documented. So that was, yeah, you know, looking back, it's. But like I said, there were some things that I learned with it, and some good people I met. But yeah, like I said, it's definitely not. Oh, thank you. It's definitely not indie minded engine. So there's been some indie games out there, but all of them are based on that package that CryEngine has. This game SDK that is one of those packages that if they get rid of, nobody like they think people are not using the engine now, but if they get rid of that package, there's going to be literally probably nobody using it. So unfortunately, it is what it is, in my view at least. Um, so yeah, so I mean, once you crash into the world, like I said, this is kind of the original level. So there's quite a few other things that I'm gonna be changing. So you're gonna be directed to this bunker where some of the friendly NPCs are gonna be at. So the bunker itself is actually like a multi-level kind of structure, and you'd be able to interact with some of these NPCs. They're going to be giving you some certain missions, and of course, a couple of them are going to be just little side missions, and you know, some of them are going to be related to the main story. Oh yeah, that's awesome. I'd love to like work with other people, when it comes to stuff. Right, so there's some more to explore here. Kind of some interactable assets. They're also going to be part of kind of the mini missions that they're gonna have to deal with. This is another one of like the industrial type areas of it. Um, so like I said, there was like multiple levels, and they're linked together by this either by you can go on the stairs through here, or you can take the elevator, and the elevator is going to be helpful for a couple of these small missions. And the reason why I wanted to do it this way is because it's going to have two exits. So one of them is going to be through here, that is going to exit into another part of the world. And yeah, thank you. So for example, when it comes to that, um, this is some of the stuff that I've done. Like for example, in here, everything you see I've modeled, and then uh, Megascan texturing. But yeah, then combined with these are from a marketplace pack, these railings. So as is the elevator shaft, came from a marketplace pack that I heavily tweaked to make it so that it's continuous. So I can take it, create it, make it into a mine shaft, and then the elevator be a functional elevator. So you can like move yourself between 4 levels. And so, like I said, this other exit leads you into another area of the game. So the player can take, either this path, which is a little bit more patrolled by enemies, you know, and or he can take the path kind of for the other exit of the bunker. That's going to take him uh, pretty much like around here. And let me see if I can. Hopefully my rig can take it, like unhide some of the other levels, so you can get an idea for that. Let's see. This is the marshlands. So yeah, so there's going to be this level here that's going to be linking through to a cave system here, and where's the cave? So yeah, this is going to be kind of inside the cave if I can find the entrance. So the idea is um, you will have to discover it. I can't give away too much of the story, but yeah, the scenario is that you don't know what happened, So the thing I can tell you is that the people in the bunker are going to be, they're suspicious of you, so that's why you need to do these little side missions first. I mean, a couple of side missions before you can actually get into some of the main story missions. Um, so so yeah, unfortunately, I can't say a whole lot because that's just going to take away um, from this. Yeah, so that cave is actually linked into a mine system that is going to be somewhere around here, and that mine also plays. Oh yeah, this is not post-apocalyptic. Um, I mean, you'll be from it's going to be kind of from the dialogues that you're going to be able to tell that the people are they're suspicious of you, right? But yeah, this is kind of a real world possibility in my view. And what do you mean by VAs? Oh, voice actors. Um, I wish I had. I'm gonna try and do a couple of the people myself first to see how that turns out. Um, and I've been playing around with Audacity to like add some effects, and I actually managed to trick a friend of mine in thinking that one of the female voices in the game was an actual female when it was mine. And I just, changed the pitch, changed the modulation around a little bit, and of course, I try to record it myself with a little bit of a higher pitch, but um, I have some ideas as far as like because like the main voice actor is going to be from the kind of the leader of the NPCs is a woman. So I have a couple of people that I have in mind for that, and that they had some pretty good rates. So I'll give that a shot. So I'm using Audacity for um, so there's not going to be a lot of music, and usually I use Freesounds. I believe freesounds.org. They have a lot of Creative Commons Zero type licensing for some of their stuff, and yeah, I think it's a pretty good deal. So yeah, this is kind of like some of the warehouse environment that's outside of the mine. Like I said, the mine is going to play quite an important role in the story, so that's why I don't want to give a whole lot of it out or too much of it. But what I can tell you is that you know, so there's the mine, and there's going to be like a little bit of mansion level where like right now it's pretty barren. It's not fully completed. I'm still debating on how to do the exterior. So kind of the mansion also plays a part in the story. They're kind of linked, but yeah. So this is also another one of the levels. But I can show you. Well, so I'm not using ray tracing because I can't run ray tracing on. If you're thinking about RTX, um, this is I'm running a 970, which I don't think they even thought of RTX at that time. But I'm trying to use SSGI, though it's kind of, you know, I'm kind of torn about it. I don't really, I can't say it's, you know, with it or without it. It's still, we're looking pretty decent the way I look at it. And I mean, ray tracing would be cool if it would have been something that would have been viable, but I don't think it is at the moment. So I'm not entirely sure what Unreal Engine 5 is going to have with that Lumen system. If that's going to be you know, platform agnostic, or if it's going to need a specific type of, you know, tech from a video card. So yeah, and like I said, it's like the level I was showing you earlier. I can't remember where I was, somewhere around here. So this level, of course, when it's not, um, let me open that other one that I had, because this one is gonna try and try and start it with the plane crash and all that. So yeah, the performance is right around 60 frames a second on you know, high settings, and you know, I'm pretty good with that. Um, I mean, I'm thinking that on a, if you put it on a 1070 or a 1080, it's gonna be closing in at probably 100 frames a second. So at that point, you could potentially, well, like I said, I can't really say how RTX is gonna influence performance, but yeah, if you think of some of the more, you know, up-to-date cards nowadays, yeah, it should be doing 100 frames easy. Um, so yeah, that's, you know, part of the reason is I'm trying to keep it kind of contained, having these levels. Um, you know, I was thinking of doing it like a full open world kind of thing, but I was also thinking, well, it might take too long, and it's it also might frustrate the player in a way, you know, because you know, having to just kind of run across the map. The way I'm doing directions is through a compass. So for example, if I jump into game mode here, oh shoot, I can't remember where I left my hmm. I'm sorry, I placed the backpack around here because when you start the game and you go for for inventory, you get a little message saying that you need to find your backpack first. So in order for you to be able to add items that you're gonna pick up off the ground, you're gonna need to find the backpack, and I cannot remember for the life of me where the backpack is. Oh, it's in one of them. It's in here. And the other one, oh, it was just somewhere in front of me. Yeah, because I wanted to show you how you use the compass. Like the compass is gonna come with the backpack. So let me see. Oh yeah, there it is. So whenever you have the compass, you can equip it. And also the way I've been doing it is like you can have an item in your right hand and an item in your left hand. So for example, you have a flashlight in your left hand and a pistol in your right hand, or a gun, or a knife. So yeah, like right now you have the compass, and if I press to equip it, this is kind of how it works. So the directions are going to be given a little bit in a kind of a cardinal coordinates type thing. So it would be, okay, you need to head off to this area that's towards kind of north from us, and so that's how you're going to be able to find these transition levels that are, one of them is going to be, hopefully I'm going the right way, because these little grids are sometimes confusing. Well, I mean, the sun right now is, I guess, towards south or southeast, if I look at this correctly. I can't really say if where the sound where the sun should be in relation to what it should be, like from a world standpoint. um, yeah, so the sunrise would be due east, um, but then again, you got to think of, this is a random spot on the planet, so the sun could travel either from like, well, I mean, yeah, I guess if it's east, so east right now would be kind of slightly behind me. But yeah, you're right. The sun could be maybe more that way a little bit. So it would kind of have more arc across the sky, so to speak. Does that make sense? I mean, hopefully it does. I mean, I'm trying to have it make sense to me. Yeah, because I mean, right now I don't think the sun is right now. Oh, actually, it's kind of due east, so I think that should work. Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, I guess it's gonna be okay, sort of. But I mean, pretty much the compass is just gonna be, okay, you gotta head northwest. So northwest, hopefully, it's gonna link me into those the transition level, right? And yeah, there you go. So, I guess it's more south than southwest. But this would be one of the transition levels. So that's how the directions are going to be given using those cardinal coordinates. Yeah, that was something that I was kind of thinking of how I should do this. And Yeah, I definitely see your point. But if I was to hold the hand a little bit more flat, I was, my thought was that it was going to be a little hard to see the dial, you know. But that you definitely have a great point on that. Oh, okay, so it's a little bit more vertical, right? For whatever reason, I wanted to have that little ring across the middle finger, but you're right. If I rotate it, I can have it on the kind of the index finger, so that way it'd be kind of tilted towards you, but it'd be straight. You know. Yeah, you're right. So yeah, as far as the mechanics, I'm not sure if I've shown you any. No, this is great. I mean, this is one of the reasons that I do streaming because there's people joining and um, everybody has can contribute with ideas, which I always like. So it's never good to do things in a vacuum. But yeah, let me show you a couple of the mechanics. This is actually something I was. Oh yeah, yeah. I actually worked on this um, earlier this week, but now I kind of I guess I'm blocked over here, so I'm gonna have to move the starting point. Yeah, this was a little bit of a fun project for me. Let me try and change this to be like kind of a daylight maybe. I watched 1917 this week, and the start of the movie is kind of focused around a trench, so I wanted to try that out and see how it would work. So let me see if I can show you a little bit of the combat. Where do I have an enemy at? I was thinking I had an enemy somewhere around here. Oh, there he is. Yeah, and after doing this, it kind of got me thinking. That could be a kind of a cool little project, like this little side project. So, like I said, you have to like pick up the backpack before you do anything. So there's the knife. So with the knife, you can just equip it. And at the moment, I kind of messed something up with the physics, so it doesn't register the knife stabbing. So but oh, he kind of saw me, so now he's getting a little annoyed. And I've disabled the bullet damage just because I was doing some testing. But that's kind of how the knife works. So it'd be a one-hit kill. But then again, you can do the stealth takedown. And so once you do that, what you can do is you can drag this guy around. I haven't really thought it about what happens if the other guys patrolling would find one of their dead buddies. But the way that I have it in my mind is like they would just go into a search mode and start going after you. There's also some like basic crafting in the game, so you'll be able to pick up recipes. So for example, this was a silencer recipe. Oh, and I need to find my backpack. So on the crafting, you'd be able to look at the recipe, and you'd be able to see here what you need to create a silencer. And of course, there's a little bit of a breakdown down here as well. And so let's pick up the water bottle, duct tape, and the rag. And I don't have icons for these just yet, so I just used some random stuff that I had. So yeah, if you go back to inspect this, if you have all the items, you can craft that specific item. So there it is. It's a crude silencer, and you'd be able to equip this to the pistol. And so basically, get remove out of the inventory and attach to the front of the pistol, so it wouldn't make a noise. Which at the moment, noises, get these guys to be all triggered and alert if you shoot a gun. So that's kind of a little bit of the combat. Then when it comes to interactions, there's going to be I'm going to show you a little bit of like right now. I think this door is actually has the wrong label on it. That's why it said pick up pistol instead of open door. So you'll be able to like um, use key codes that you'd find throughout the game, and yeah, this door is not really common throughout the game. It's a little bit high tech, so yeah, you'd have to play the game in order for you to figure out where that is. So I'm not giving anything else up. Um, there's going to be a little bit of a mini game in the game. One of them being no aliens, no aliens. So there's like simple stuff like this as a distraction, and right now it's really bright out, so it's pretty tough to see, um, and yeah, so it's definitely hard to see with the current lighting. But yeah, you can play Tappy Chicken, and this is going to be something that's going to be probably available in the bunker, and I guess I am stuck in something else's collision or something. Weird. So yeah, I was telling you about the elevator. This kind of works just like with the other one. Just like with the Tappy Chicken thing. So this is the bunker in the, I mean the elevator in the bunker. So let's see. I believe I was on B3. Yeah, I think that's the ground floor. So I was telling you about you have the ability to hide. So there's certain items that you'd be able to hide in. For example, like this is one of them. And you'd be able to see through this. I'm not sure why I did. I think I might have messed up the textures a little bit. I moved the alpha out of place. So you'd be able to turn. What you can do is you'd be able to turn one of these, which is this little washer here, and this one actually um, generates a noise that attracts the enemy NPC. And right now he's too far to hear it for his hearing distance. Yeah, I mean, these are some of the mechanics that I wanted to have, and I was like, this is a part-time thing. It's kind of a fun thing to do outside of work, and um, I'm not constrained by time or something like that. Some other functionality would be you have the ability to crawl, so stuff like this. They can you'd be able to crawl through sections of the cave that I was telling you about, and there's going to be other locations on the map that you'd be able to do this. Yeah, this is it's actually a texture um, that I made in Mixer. It was like clovers mixed in with some moss and some ground. So I was able to mix in some rocks into this and have a kind of a rocky clover section. Right, so there's going to be another one that kind of works. What the hell happened? I guess there's still some stuff that I need to. There's still some bugs around here and there, but there's edible stuff. So if you get damage, you'd be able to do that. There's lockpicking mechanics, uh, and actually I can show you how the lockpicks work as well. So so you can also kind of shimmy along the wall. This is another option. And right now, this character is actually one of the infantrymen, and he has a helmet, so that's why you can kind of see through his helmet. But so you eventually exit from here. Um, there's stuff like this where you can interact with various switches. Um, of course, you can interact with this guy is None, has a really good name, but this is how the dialogue starts, and you'd be able to select uh, stuff from the dialogue. And like I said, you'd be able to sleep. This is not one of the beds that you can interact with, but you'd be able to sleep and kind of move the time of day. At least that's what I'm currently thinking on. You'd be able to. Okay, so this is another thing that I wanted to do because you'd. Oh yeah, that's definitely a good thought. I was thinking of having it in a color, and then also doing a little bit of an outline, like this one. Like you can definitely read this one on probably any surface. So yeah, and the other thing is, and I've run into this playing a couple of games, is the NPCs will not get out of the way, and you kind of get stuck in a place, right? But so what I wanted to do is like whenever the NPC is sitting in front of you, and you want to get behind him, and there's not enough room. If you go up to him, he'd be like, hey, you know what? This is my personal space, and if he's gonna move out of the way, I think at the moment, what I did is actually moved the navigation. Let me see if I add a navigation in here. The navigation mesh. It's not navigation. It is called something else. Nav mesh bounds volume. So at least this guy knows where he can move. So let me give this a try real quick, and I can show you what I mean by that. Yeah, so see, you'd be able to like kind of get him to move whenever you enter his space. He would like move back a foot or something like that. So that way, if it's blocking you, you can get him out of the way. And the other thing you can do is, well, the other thing these guys can do is, depending on, so like I can select this guy, and what I can do is actually tell him to go to a certain location. So like here, right? So I'm not entirely sure if this is anywhere close. And let me see where this is. I'm not sure if it's, yeah, it's not within his navigation area, so let me make this a little bit bigger. So depending on the mission that you get selected, or whatever this NPC is programmed to do, he can do something like this. Let me show you. So I can send the NPC here, and then I can have him point here. So for example, he's gonna be going there, and I'm actually thinking this is actually part of the mission. So NPC tag, I can't remember if I actually named this guy Jim. So, you know, they'd be able to go to this place. Oh, shoot. Forgot to move my starting point. Yeah, so if this guy has a mission of, and I actually can't remember which one of the missions was that I would have directed him to go. Ba, 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 ba. Let me see if it's this. Oh, okay, yeah, so this guy, yeah, so there he goes. So he would go to that location, and then he would like kind of call you over, right? He's like, hey, over here. And then you talk to him again, and you know, he's like pointing to that little thing, see? So he's like using his arm to point to where that's it's set to point at. You know, so for example, in the bunker, it'd be like, okay, he's gonna take you down a corridor and then point to this room where you're needed to go, I guess. So hopefully that makes sense. Another cool little mechanic that I wanted to add is, you know, I was telling you about lock picking. I actually never got around to show you that. Let's see, I need to pick up some lockpicks first. I think I had some around here. So lockpicks, and let me see, is there a door that's lockpickable? Alright, there you go. So again, this is something off of the marketplace, you know, for a kind of a lock picking mechanic on doors. There's going to be some locations on the map that are going to be locked, and you have to lock pick the door. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It was, I think it was a really cheap, or maybe it was free for like a month on the marketplace, and I thought, okay, this would make sense. It'd be pretty easy to implement, and I wanted to have a way for the player to to also add a little bit to the game time, but also add a bit of a challenge. So that was one of the reasons as well. So yeah, I mean, by and large, these are kind of some of the mechanics of it, and yeah, there's like some other things that you can like push items. So there's going to be some obstacles that you're going to need to push out of the way, and yeah. Hey, thank you so much, RJ Orvor, and hopefully I'll see you around in the next one. Take care.